Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to answer these problems here, and these problems on the left, given the situation or the data that I have on the right. So what we need is the demographic profile in terms of these values of these things. So, okay, let's do that. I need the sex, locality, internet connection, and year level. So, okay, I'm gonna get these first. I'm gonna highlight and copy. I'm gonna put that in Jamovi and just simply paste. Okay. So, notice when you, I'm gonna delete this excess variable, the uh excess columns. When you input the data on your own, make sure that each of the column, this is actually quite wrong because each, I don't know what happened, but there are two columns for a single answer. This should not happen. There should only be one column per item. Like for example, here for the I, there should only be one column. Like this is what should happen. Notice in this one, there are two columns for one single value. So we will not do that like that. Okay, so it should only be like this. Okay, so with this, we will need to double check and clean the data. Of course, I forgot the year level. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna put it here, right here. Okay, and I'm gonna rename these is what we call a sex variable. The next one is what we call the locality variable or the locale. You know, call it. Um, the next variable is the, we call this the internet category. And the fourth variable is the year level. Okay. And let us say I'm gonna change this a bit. I'm gonna make a year level. You see the letters, right? I'm gonna make this like 2A is 1. Okay, 2B is 2 years. I'm just gonna make it like that, just for the sake of example. 3C is 2C is 3. 2D is clearly 4. 2E is 5. 2F is 6. And 2G is 7. Let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna name this. It's going to be ordinal rather. So that's ordinal right now. Okay, because of the scheme we have. Okay. Okay, so that's our profile variables. So how do I check in your case when we're gonna do your data, how do you check that they're all clean? You need to double check here in each of the variable. Okay, when you do that, you'll be given the levels here in Jamovi. Make sure that the levels are what you intend it to be. Like for example, in female, we have only one female. There's a possibility that there will be more females there, meaning there is a duplicate or a certain category or an input in your data wherein the word female is wrongly spelled or wrongly inputted, or maybe the casing is also important here. So it should be, for example, the first letter is capital, the next letters are small letters. So it should be like that. If I will put here a male and it's all capital, it will be different from this input, which is M is capital and the others are small letters. So you should be very careful with that. Let's double check the year level. We have checked that and it's already clear. I want to arrange them though. I want to input that. I want to make the 1 to be the first one here on the top. So there, I want the number 2 to be the next one. You can also rearrange if you want. It's important that they're arranged. I want number 4 to be here. And then 5. And then 6. So now they're arranged. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I'll go to the locale, or yeah, let's do the locale first. And you can see here there are different cities. This is the one where it becomes a bit tedious to double check because you want to make sure that there are no replications in the cities. So what you can actually do is you change them and make them of similar words. Or for example, if I have here Sagay City, Negros Occidental, it's going to be very much different from Sagay City, Negok. So you should be very careful with that one. Um, what we can do, this is going to be quite tedious. And for example, you have Murcia here, but it specifies the barangay. If there's another Murcia here that doesn't specify the barangay, it will be quite different. So for example, Murcia Negros Occidental is different from Murcia wherein it's a different input. So what can we do? Like for example, New York is different from United States. You should be very careful with this one. What you should do is before you input the data from the questionnaire or from the surveyed raw data, you should make sure that there is consistency. That's why I suggested that even the profile variable should have options, or else it would look like this. Okay. Now, you need to clean this, but for the sake of time, we will not do that anymore. I will just delete this so that we can save time. I'll delete this, and if ever you'll have that category or that variable in the future, make sure it's clean. For the internet connection, let's double check if it's clean. Not really. You can see the first category here, category 2B is different from category 2B, which is here. I guess you can see the difference after the word with. There's a space. I'm gonna delete that space and click enter. It will be modeled as there's a number 2 somewhere. That's a long term. Okay, it's pretty much longer than expected. Okay, how about this? I'm gonna name category 3 as just simply 3. I'm gonna name category 2B as simply 2. Oh, that makes it simple. 2A is 1. And the other 2B is, I'm gonna call it 2. You will see that there's a 2 and there's an open parenthesis 2 there. It specifies that there's a repetition of that number. And you can see the repetition actually. It's on the first row. It's quite. Wait a minute, it's giving me quite some problems. Okay, it's getting shorter on its own. Moment. Okay, it's quite a problem right here. Because it doesn't. Okay. A moment, please. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna make this 2 right now. Okay. You know what? Okay. Let's have this. It's now making some crazy decisions on its own. And I want to make it smaller like this one. Okay, that's it. Internet category. We follow suit. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. And year level. Okay. Whew. Okay, that makes it clear. So we have three variables, profile variables, the sex, the entire category, which is 1, 2, 3 now. There's still another one. Here. So these are wrongly inputted. The one who typed it's wrong. We need to make it 2 to delete, and double check in your levels here. There are no more 2 open parenthesis 2. So it's pretty much cleaned now. Okay. Double check. Year level is ascending order. Internet category is in ascending order, 1, 2, 3. And of course, male, female doesn't matter because it's nominal. So I hope we're clear there. That's for the profile variable. So that's the data preparation will be needing some time. How will you go about with this? You click on exploration, you click on descriptives, everyone, and you'll be given this window right here. Okay, here we go. So this is the inputs, this is the outputs. What we want is to input the sex, the internet category, and the year level. And since we want only the demographic profile, right now I'm gonna delete this locality. We will not solve for that. Okay. Okay. What we want is only the demographic profile. We will be just clicking the frequency tables. Okay, and it will provide us the tables that we need just for the sake of the demographics. So we can see here how many are females, 1 to 9, how many are males, 37, how many are in that certain internet category, how many are in that certain year level. Okay, are we good so far? Okay, so again, I'm recording this. I'm gonna send this to you so that you can have a copy. The next is, so actually that's it. We're done with objective one. What you need to do then is you can just put this on a template. I'm gonna give you a template later on, wherein you're gonna follow the template that's like the results and discussion template, and you're going to follow the instructions there. So you're gonna input that. You're gonna give some words, give some descriptions, and that's it for number one. For number two, what is the level of satisfaction of nurses? I am referring to this, and let us say that these are levels of satisfaction numbers from this column right here up until this column right here. Okay. For Miss Jean, what you have is level of level of confidence in BLS, right? For Miss Reg, it's level of systems thinking, right? Notice that in your levels of systems thinking and in levels of confidence, it doesn't consist only of one item, right? It consists of multiple items, not only one. So how will we go about, sir, in analyzing these items all in all? You don't need actually to put all the items in your Jamovi. It depends on what you need. So in our case, we will not need all the items unless you need the mean and the mean and SD per item. So how will we go about that? Well, if these are all the items, for example, in systems thinking, if you have 10 items, for example, or 15 for the level of confidence, if you have 10 or 15, you're going to copy all of them. Copy that. You're going to paste that all in Jamovi. Click go back in data. And just Control V or paste it here in the last column available. So just take some time. Okay, so here we go. Notice that there's some blanks. It's an error from the data source. So in your case, as long as there's no blanks, there will be no blank spaces here. As long as you input the data per once per column. So I'm gonna delete this. It's quite tedious to do, but we need to do that. Okay. Here, delete this, delete. Similarly, we also need, can I highlight more? 1, 2, 3. Can I do that? Let's see. Delete. Yeah. Yeah, I can. Okay, so why didn't I do that in the first place? Here, delete, delete, delete. Okay. Delete, delete. Delete, delete, and this one. Okay. So I'll delete those 8 columns, and what we have are these which are left. So I know that from columns number letter G up until the last column that we have, these are all levels of, for example, level of confidence or level of systems thinking. I don't need to analyze all of them as per my objective requires. What I want is the level of satisfaction as a whole and in terms of these profile variables. So how do we go about that? We will not get the mean and SD for each one of them. What we need to do is we will create another column here. Okay, I'm going to double click on that. and I'm gonna click on new computed variable. Okay, in that new computed variable, I will call this the level of confidence of satisfaction, because this is my variable as it is, and I'm gonna state a formula. Okay, so I will state a formula right here. My formula, you can actually find a set of formulas over here, and the formula that I want is the average or the mean. So I'm gonna find the mean, and here's the mean over here. And I'm gonna make sure that the blinking cursor is right between the parentheses. I need to input the first column for my variable of satisfaction is column G, right? So column G. So I want to put that in mind. Okay, let's go back to the level of course it's red because we didn't define the function. I want to input column G. Again, I want to make sure that my blinking cursor is between the parentheses. I want to input G there, double click, comma, double click on F, comma, double click on H, comma, and I want to double click on everything. I don't know if I can put them all at once in the, so you cannot, just want to put J there after H, and then L, and then N, and then P, and then R, and then T, and then V, we have X, we have Y, we have AB, AD, AF, AH. And that's actually the last one. In the last one, you don't need to put the parent a comma. Okay, so you only need to put a comma between variables. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 questions. You need to double check if there are 16 questions in your variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there are 16 items. So indeed, this is correct. There are 16 of them. After which you can just click enter. And there you go. This is everybody, the mean level of satisfaction. This is also what you will do in the mean level or the level of systems thinking and the level of confidence in BLS. Are we clear so far? Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. Now, how do we answer what is the level of satisfaction as a whole? So firstly, if it is as a whole, what we're going to do is we're going to click this first. This is the thing that we're going to do. So we're going to click on analysis and click on exploration and click descriptives right after that. Okay, with the descriptives, what we want, we don't need these individual letters anymore. What we're interested with is the level of satisfaction, put it in variables. And you can see the results here in this portion here. This is not yet properly written as far as our format is concerned. Usually we use the APA format. Click the variables and we want the descriptives across rows. Click statistics. And we want the sample size. We only need the N. We don't really need the missing. What we need for common research is the mean and standard deviation only. We want it like this, everyone. Now, this is your level of satisfaction as a whole. Are we good? Okay. So this is your level of satisfaction as a whole. So we are good with the first portion here. Now, how about in terms of sex? We will need to run again an exploration. Click descriptives. We will do the similar thing as we did before. We click on level of satisfaction and we will make the variables across rows, uncheck those that we don't need, only leave the N, mean, and standard deviation there. And since it's terms of sex, we need to scroll up and see the sex here. We need to put that in split by, and notice that the descriptives are now split by sex. And this is how we need reporting here. So you can see that the mean level of satisfaction for females is this, the mean level of satisfaction for males is this. Okay, so we are good for objective 2, sex. How about internet connectivity status? So we will click again, exploration. It's gonna be this is how you will do it. Input the level of satisfaction in the variables. Sorry, that's wrong. That's not the level of satisfaction. Level of satisfaction, here we go. And then internet category split by that. And we want the variables across rows, uncheck the missing, uncheck the median, uncheck the minimum, uncheck the maximum. And that's just what we want right here. Let it load. There you go. Okay. So this is your second question. Okay, your second question in terms of level of internet category. The next is year level. That's the last one for objective 2. You click on exploration. You click descriptives. And then similarly, you input the level of satisfaction in your variables. You input the year level in split by. The variable should be across rows. You uncheck the missing, uncheck the minimum, uncheck the maximum, uncheck the median. And this is what you need only. There you go. Hit it load, and that's it. Yeah, and we're good with objectives 1 and 2. Okay, any questions so far?
Okay lang, Doc.
Okay lang. Okay, sige, sige. So that's how you do it. So similar with your data, with your project, this is what you're gonna do as well. Next is number 3. So in number 3, is there significant differences or difference in the level of satisfaction? What I'm gonna answer is only sex and internet connectivity status. The rest will be similar. The year level is similar with internet connectivity status because it's still gonna make use of ANOVA. So for number 3, since it's sex and it has only 2 categories, I'm gonna make use of t-test. So I'm gonna click on t-tests. I'm gonna click on independent samples t-test, and I'm gonna let it load. I'm gonna click on the level of satisfaction because my dependent variable here is level of satisfaction, and I want to check if there's a significant difference when we group them according to sex. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't say as a whole. That's wrong. When grouped according to, that's the most proper. Okay, so level of satisfaction when grouped according to sex. Okay, so we're gonna input the level of satisfaction in the dependent variable for our independent samples t-test, and we're gonna input as well the sex in the grouping variable, and everything that we had the lesson about, we're gonna follow that. And I'm gonna check first the homogeneity and QQ plot for the assumption of parametricity or parametric tests. Let it load. It will just take some time. Okay, so we are interested to check the Shapiro-Wilk value. The Shapiro-Wilk value is 0.47. It means that there's no violation in the assumption of normality. Notice the QQ plot. Most of the scores are on the line, so therefore pretty much it is normal. The next part that we want to assume or to check for assumptions is the homogeneity test. It is Levene's test that is most common. And we want to check the Levene's test p-value if the p-value is greater than 0.05. If it is, so therefore, there's no assumption or there's no violation. So therefore, since our p-value for Levene's is 0.379, there's no violation in homogeneity. Shapiro-Wilk is 0.47. There's no violation in normality. So therefore, we can use student's t-test. So for student's t-test, here it is. We're going to check the mean difference, the effect size, descriptive and descriptive plots. And this is what is required from you. Okay, so the rest will be making use of the 4-step procedure, which is in our class, writing the hypothesis, the alpha level. This one is step number 2. Remember the decision rule and the conclusion as well. So that's how you write it in the report. Okay. So that's it for independent samples t-test. Okay, so clear so far?
Yes.
So similar, this will be similar to your group project or to your individual project. Next is level of satisfaction in terms of internet connectivity status. How do we do that? So Internet connectivity status has as noticed in the top analysis, there are 3 categories, so we cannot put that in t-test. We need to make use of ANOVA. So let's click ANOVA. Let's click one-way ANOVA. And for now, we will input the level of satisfaction in the dependent variables, and we will input internet category in the grouping variables. And first up, we need to check the normality, the assumption of normality for parametric tests. We're going to let it load. And we want to check the Shapiro-Wilk, and notice the Shapiro-Wilk is 0.15. It's greater than 0.05, so therefore there's no assumption. Sorry, there's no violation in the assumption of normality. Notice the QQ plot, they're on the line there. So yeah, we can say that it's normal. Next level is the homogeneity. Let's check if the variances of the 3 groups are homogeneous. Notice that the p-value for Levene's is 0.738, so therefore there's no violation in homogeneity. We can go ahead and use Fisher's test, and we can actually check the descriptive plate tables and plots as well. So by default, Jamovi produces Fisher's test, or sorry, Welch test. So you need to really click the Fisher's test. Notice that the p-value for one-way ANOVA is 0.303, signifying that it's greater than 0.05. So therefore, there's no significant difference if you're gonna compare their level of satisfaction in terms of internet category. So meaning the internet categorization doesn't matter when it comes to level of satisfaction. So we don't need to run a post hoc test in this matter because there's no significant difference. Okay? So how we run the year level, the objective 3 year level is similar to how we run objective 3 internet connectivity status. Okay? Are we good so far?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, so this is the last objective. So how will you answer significant relationship test? So in this case, we are tasked to measure or to check for significant relationships, the level of satisfaction and their year level. Okay, so of course I'm gonna delete this. We didn't finish that. How will we do that? Year level is numerical. It's ordinal, by the way. It's ordinal. Level of satisfaction is continuous or ratio. We can make use of Spearman's rule because year level is ordinal, but we need to make sure that the scatter plot is still monotonic. So we need to first click on exploration and check on the scatter plot if it's monotonic, and then therefore we can make use of Shapiro-Wilk. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's make use of year level in the y-axis. Oh, it will not use it. Okay. Anyways, we can make use of a scatter plot in the categories. It needs to be, we call that numerical in aspect. Anyways, that's fine. We're not gonna pursue the scatter plot for now. I'm gonna delete that. We can actually do that in the correlation matrix itself. Can produce a scatter plot there. And right here, I want to input the year level and the level of satisfaction. Oh, do not allow it. Okay, let me see. There's something wrong with the data. The data in year level is numerical. Oh, but the data type is text. So be careful with that. I want to make this as an integer. And all the numbers they all disappeared. What happened is it is originally text. So if it is text, these numbers are actually texts. They mean something. Like for example, remember that we changed it. So what we're gonna do, the logical thing to do is we're gonna add another separate variable here, and I'm gonna name this year level ordinal. To force it to be ordinal. So what I'm gonna do then is I'm just gonna copy all the inputs here. These are inputs, and paste it here. And I will strictly say that these are integers and these are continuous, let's say. Okay, I can force it to be continuous. I guess if that's the case, I can run a scatter plot already. Let us delete this first. The analysis, remove that. I'm gonna run a scatter plot. here, and I want to input the year level, which is ordinal. Can I do that? Yeah, I can do that now. And input the level of satisfaction as well. And let's see if it's monotonic. Yeah, let's put a line. Yeah, we can work on that if you're gonna click a smooth curve. That happens because we only have, say, in the year level, they're not really scattered that much because we have 7 options. They are in terms of rank. So okay, it's like a straight line over there. So let's assume that it's monotonic for now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna click regression and click correlation matrix. And we're gonna input 2 things, the year level and the level of satisfaction there. And since we're assuming that this is monotonic, let us say, we're gonna clearly use Spearman. We cannot use Pearson's because one is ordinal. And we're gonna flag significant correlations. We're gonna click the N and we're gonna click on correlation matrix. And the correlation matrix will pretty much show us similar to what we have seen here above. Yeah, that's it. Notice that our Spearman rho is negative 0.12. You can imagine that in the line because here the line is quite negative. It's going downwards from left to right. It's not going upwards. So we're expecting actually a negative value for rho or even for Pearson's. The p-value is 0.098. So it doesn't hit our 0.05 mark. So therefore, this means that there is no significant relationship between the year level and the level of satisfaction. So it doesn't really change or give an association between the Spearman's the year level and the level of satisfaction of the participants. Okay. And with this, you copy this analysis, you input the 4 steps. This is actually step 2. Hypothesis, step 1. And then step 2 is this. Step 3 is the decision rule. Step 4 is the conclusion. So you do that for your objective number 4. And with all of this, you are actually done with the project. You just need to follow the format that I will be giving out in the final learning evidence. Okay. Are we good? Are we clear so far?
Yes, Doc.
Okay, I'll stop.
I-watch lang ni namon liwat, Doc, para ma-follow ko di namon.
Yes. You can watch this only times. I will upload this later on. And yeah, you can watch this only times. Yeah.